with All Country News, and I'm here chatting with Kylie Morgan. Kylie, how are you doing today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, Kylie, you've toured with a lot of big names in country, Maren Morris, Little Big Town, Brett Eldridge. So, take us back a little bit to when you first started creating music. I know you've been creating music for quite a long time, pretty much all your life. So, how has that journey been for you before all of that?
Man, I would give anything to take you back, mostly to those moments of touring. Would love to go back to those moments. I'm originally from Oklahoma, very small town, very typical country song. We have like 4 stoplights kind of situation. And I told my mom when I was 12, after I got my very first little pink guitar for Christmas, that I was going to be a country music artist and move to Nashville. And so she loved that once I told her I wasn't going to college. And I took it very seriously. I'm a very type A personality, and she knew how much I loved it. And so I pretty much dove in like full force and started touring heavily at 14 all around the US, and then started making regular trips to Nashville to co-write songs for the first time at 15, and was able to really just hone in on my songwriting, what I wanted to say as an artist, and really who I wanted to be. I was still so young. And so I thankfully got a head start in all of this, and was able to really hone in on what I wanted to say as an artist from a very young age. And so once I started going back and forth, I knew that Nashville was the place that I needed to be. And so at 19, after touring really heavy and just writing a lot, going back and forth, I finally made the move and signed my first publishing deal out there in Nashville. And just for the next 2 years, just found who I loved creating with, and found the people that like really just got me as my music and me as a person. And so after that, I signed my second publishing deal with Smack Songs with Shane McAnally. And that was the big transition for me because it took everything to a different level. And so he pretty much took me in and believed in me, and we started working together. I signed a management deal with Smack Songs. And once that kind of began, I knew that the next step was to get a record deal. And that was always the dream. Like, I feel like when young girls were talking about their wedding, I was talking about my, dream of having a record deal. So that was the next step for sure. And so long story short, after a couple showcases and being able to perform in front of all the labels in town, got 2 label offers and decided on Universal Music Group. And now I'm under EMI, which is the same label as our new Entertainer of the Year, Eric Church, CMA, and as well as Brothers Osborne, Gary Allen, and some other incredible artists that I feel very lucky to be a part of. And so ever since I signed the deal, it's been one thing after another. From 2019 was so fun for me. I was able to be a part of CMT's Next One in the Country. I was also a CMA Kickstart artist, and got to walk the red carpet at the CMAs last year for the first time and present an award at the pre-show. And all these things just really built up, and I was like, okay, it's all happening. And then a global pandemic hit. And so it kind of threw a wrench in things, but we still launched a song called Break Things right before quarantine happened. And the best thing that could have happened during this time was that song going viral, and it ended up getting up to number 24 on the all genre chart. And is now, we actually, as of today, we have reached 30 million streams across all platforms. So I'm very excited about that.
So, as a woman in country, a historically predominantly male industry, what career advice would you offer to young girls who want to pursue a career in this industry, or even for just other women who may not have had an early start in their careers?
My biggest advice is play with the boys. I mean, just like as much as we can all use an excuse of being a female as why we're not exceeding to the point where we want to. If you can put that aside and just realize that, hey, if I create and the good enough stuff, the things that like people continue to want and relate to, and really like they all try and go back to, it's like a male dominated industry, which it 100% is, but it wasn't always like that. I mean, in the 90s, we had Shania, Faith, like we had Trisha Yearwood, females ran country music, and I feel like it really can go back to that. And so I think if we all just step up to the plate and continue to just like create what we think is the best version of ourselves, and really just step up and play with the boys, then I think we can truly shift that around back to those good old days in the 90s for sure.
Well, we like to keep our followers in the know, so I have to ask this next question. What's coming next for you? Anything we should be watching out for?
New music for sure is coming soon. I've been writing songs since I was 12, and I have so many songs that I want to release. And so my goal for 2020 is to definitely come out with a full project, whether it's an EP, an album. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I know that 2021 will bring a full package of songs that I'm very excited to release.
Awesome. Well, Kylie, thanks so much for chatting with us, and I can't wait to hear more from you.
Thank you so much.
I love Jesus, but I cuss just a little.